Hello, Rose. Thanks for cutting us this interview for RMC Sports. It's been 1 year since we've seen you. So, first of all, how are we doing?
Oh, we're doing really good. Been staying busy. Staying in shape. Yeah, it's been awesome.
How did you spend this time?
I spent this time getting my grandmother, situated back into the States. She's from Lithuania, so she moved in with me before the last fight. So getting her accustomed, to our way of living again and working on her immigration status. She's got her green card now, so everything's good. Bought a house, moved, and just doing like renovations on the house, building out a gym at home, and on top of that, just like training.
So, you are fighting Manon Fiorot, who is the #1 ranked in the flyweight division. You're moving up. First of all, are you aware of the historical dimension of the fight in France? We've talked about maybe the biggest fight ever organized in France.
Oh, not the most aware. I just know. I know there's a lot of French MMA fans that are very excited to bring, MMA and the UFC in particular back to Paris. So I know it's going to be very energetic, and people are going to be very excited.
So, fighting a French woman in Paris in moving up a division, is it a huge challenge for you?
Of course, yeah. That's like every fight has been a big challenge for me. Each fight gets a bigger challenge each time. So this will be the same. It's all about challenging yourself and facing your fears.
Why did you accept this fight for you?
Well, I had been offered many fights, over the course of the past year and a half, and none of them were really exciting to me other than like this one, and it just kind of happened at a time where things kind of calmed down for me, and I was able to actually be like, okay, now what next? And then it was kind of like, it wasn't an immediate no, and then I was kind of thinking about it, and I was like, yeah, actually it sounds pretty exciting.
And moving up to the flyweight division, what does it mean for you? And since how long did you prepare for yourself for this?
Yeah, ever since I lost my last fight, that's kind of what I was thinking. I figured a move up to flyweight was inevitable at some point. I just didn't know how long it was, when it was going to be.
Why inevitable? It's been kind of hard for you to be as a strawweight?
Yeah, each as I mature as a woman, the weight cuts have been getting harder and harder. But also, it's just like at 115, I feel like I've already fought like the who's who of the division, got the belt, lost it, got it back, defended it, all these things, and it's just kind of like, what is there left for me to do at 115? Other than just, if winning fights was my only objective, and see how many I could win, like just getting my record, up, then yeah, I'd just stay there, I guess. But to me, it's all about like what's going to excite me, and Manon excites me.
We've talked with Aldric Cassata, who is the trainer of Manon Fiorot. He told us that he knew you're going to accept the fight when you followed Manon Fiorot on Instagram.
See, I don't even know if I followed her on Instagram. I don't even run my Instagram, so that's interesting, but okay.
On your personal wide, how did you get started martial arts?
How did I start martial arts? I started when I was like 4 or 5 years old. I started in Taekwondo, I started, back in Milwaukee, and I just fell in love with martial arts. I always loved being out in nature and things like that, but I feel like martial arts was just easy for me to channel that, like nature that I have inside of me, that put it into an outlet where I can kind of, it's just very therapeutic for me. So it just kind of started my journey, and here I am.
And your grandfather was a successful wrestler, no? Mm-hmm. So it's a family thing, maybe?
Yeah, I didn't really grow up with my grandfather. I got to know him a little bit, you know, before he passed away. But you know, I guess it kind of got passed down to me, I guess, in a way. But it wasn't like I was around a bunch of wrestling all the time. I did wrestle in high school, like one season, but yeah, so it's just kind of funny that worked out that way.
And there's not only martial arts in your life, you have other talents like gardening or piano. Why and how do you make it simple in your life? Like, how do you deal with this?
Yeah. I just get bored of things pretty easily. You know, so to me, if it was just fight all the time, I kind of get burnt out on that. So to me, it's all about having a balanced lifestyle, and then also just gardening is, you know, my primary passion. Is something that just being able to eat your own food and watch things grow. I mean, there's nothing better than that. And then music has always been a part of my life. I definitely enjoy listening to music more than I enjoy playing it, but it's very rewarding, and I wish I was more talented than I am. You know, I wish I had more time to practice is basically. But
Could you have chosen a different path?
I think so, but this is definitely God's plan for me, you know, so I can't work against God's plan, you know. Every time I've definitely had many times where I'm like, I'm done with this. And then here I am still doing it. So, you know, obviously time is ticking, and for me it's like, you know, we definitely can't do this for forever, but yeah, I'm glad to still be here and be able to do this. So
Talking about God, you've said one day that I've got the Christ consciousness, I've got Lithuanian blood, and I've got the American dream. Can you explain it for
yeah, so that's kind of interesting because that was in a time where I kind of went down a certain path of, like, you know, the Christ consciousness thing. Now to me, I kind of don't really subscribe to that as much anymore. But I was on my spiritual journey. You know what I mean? You know, Jesus is my Savior, my Lord, and that's the Lord of my life. You know what I mean? But I was kind of going down sort of a New Age path that I don't necessarily. I can kind of see the deception in it now. So to me, it's all about, like, but I get, like, the spirit of what I was trying to say, I feel like was genuine, you know, at the time. And then Lithuanian blood, I was just amped up, you know what I mean? And so, but I do have Lithuanian blood in me, and that's a fighting blood for sure. Lots of people that was, you know, fought for freedom in my family. That gave their lives for freedom. And so to me, that's like in me very strong. You know, anybody that tries to take away my freedom, it's like, you know what I mean? So that to me is very important. And then that's why I'm here in America, because, you know, my dad had a vision. He thought to go to the America and to, you know, achieve the American dream. He really believed in that. And, you know, too bad he couldn't be here with us, you know, to see everything kind of, you know, unfold the way that it did. But I'm living proof of that, you know, you know, to go from being, I guess, refugee status to, like, you know, sort of, I can, if I work hard and the opportunities present itself, I can make almost anything happen. It's just a matter of, like, believing in it and it being according to God's will, basically.
Where does the nickname Thug come from?
It comes from, my neighbors in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. When I was growing up, I lived next to they were like a little Jamaican family that we kind of helped raise each other. We watched after each other. There's a lot of, you know, just chaotic things going on growing up, and so we had each other's back. But anyway, yeah. So the mom of the house, she saw me, like, she just kind of nicknamed me that because. She just saw that I had this demeanor that, you know, because of my small stature, and, you know, everybody thought I was weak, and, you know, thought they could just pick on me, and I was way stronger than anybody expected, and so she named me that.
After Ronda Rousey, you've been an iconic person in MMA. So, do you have put it inside you that, okay, I'm a man, woman in MMA, and so I have to represent MMA fighters to the whole people and the whole world?
I don't have to, you know. I never think that I have to do something. This is all a choice.
It's quite harsh word.
Yeah, like,
you're kind of model for some.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, and that's very flattering. But yeah, I just try to be me. You know, I just try to. I will say, yeah, I definitely have been thinking a little bit more about like, okay, how can I affect other people a bit more? You know, and that's always been kind of on my mind. But you know, it really is just about being genuine and making sure that I'm being true to myself. And when I do that, then it can only be good.
How mental preparation is important for you, like to be ready mentally?
Of course, I think you can have all the physical, you can be in shape, you know what I mean? You can be the strongest that you could possibly be, but if you're not mentally ready for what's about to happen, you're going to have a very traumatic night. And so, because fighting can be very traumatic, and you can make things bigger than what they are, you know, and so it's all about, yeah, just doing all of the preparation mentally, spiritually, and physically. So all of those things combined are very important.
You're used to fight under the pressures, under the spotlights, fighting for the title. For Manon Fiorot, it will be maybe the first time to have this huge type of events. So how do you deal the pressure as a person, you?
I don't know. I'm just made for this, you know. Like it's definitely challenging. It's not easy, but you know, God just keeps putting me and giving me nothing more than I can handle, you know. So, and that to me is just what keeps me going forward, because otherwise, if it was just for me, you know, it wouldn't be satisfying. Yeah.
But how important was Pat on your side to overcome these ordeals?
Oh, Pat, yeah. I mean, yeah, he's been a part of my journey, you know, since I, you know, turned professional, and you know, he's been with me every step of my career. So, and then to have his experience and to see him go through, you know, situations, and you know, you just realize that like there's nothing in life that's like, you know, you can definitely, everybody can handle way more than what they think they can, you know. So to me, it's like having him by my side definitely is super important, and very, very useful, because yeah, he filters a lot of dumb shit. I will say, you know, excuse my French. But yeah, he definitely there's a lot of people that want my attention and want things from me, and they got to get through him first.
He was there when it counts the most.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, because he doesn't really care. Like, obviously we come to win and we come to perform, but you know, none of that stuff matters at the end of the day. It's like, am I okay? You know, and that's his main intention, his main goal. Like, everybody else has their own agendas. They want to see this, they want to see that, they want, you know what I mean? And it's like, none of that stuff means anything at the end of the day. I mean, yeah, it pays my bills, but you know, having a best friend at your side is so important. Mm-hmm.
That's huge. Talking about the fights against Manon, in her last victory against Chookagian, she should have logically called out for Valentina Shevchenko, who were the reigning champion, and instead she did not. Even her trainer were a bit surprised. The reason why is she didn't feel ready for it. How does it make you feel that she didn't be ready for this?
You know, I've been there before. I think I don't, you know, you got to feel ready, right? So, you know, it's kind of interesting, I guess. Yeah, I as soon as the first time I think I remember watching her fight the first time on a Contender Series or whatever, and I thought to myself, oh, this is a top prospect, you know, coming up. And ever since then, you know, she had been climbing her way up, and so I think it would have been fine had she called out Valentina or called for the belt, but the fact that she didn't, I mean, it was kind of a close fight, you know, so maybe she just didn't feel super confident in herself. I mean, but the thing is, Katlyn Chookagian isn't a walkover either, you know what I mean? So she's a tough opponent, and yeah, but I think it's fine, you know, it's cool. She obviously wants to challenge herself and make sure that she's ready. So, and I think she should challenge herself, and she should make sure that she's ready.
and if she wasn't ready for the champion, if she's ready for you?
I'm sure she'll be ready, but as far as I'm interested to see, like how she deals with somebody like me, because from all the fights I've seen from her, I don't believe that she's ever fought anybody like me before. And I come in with a very unique quality experience too, very high level experience, and I will be moving up in weight, but yeah, I've fought at 125 in my amateur days. Obviously, it's a totally different level, obviously now, but yeah, I'm ready for it. So, it's not so much is she ready for me, as I know that I'm going to be ready.
Talking about moving up, one of the best arguments for Magnon is her size, her reach. How can you deal with this?
Yeah, it's funny because that was part of the reason why I've always wanted to move back up. That was one of the challenges, even though the strength level is a little different at 115, just the weight itself, like it's different. But the reason that I've always thought about moving back up is because of the length and the height, and I feel like I've always had to fight, like squat down and make sure and bend my knees more against shorter fighters, and to me that's always been a challenge because I've always watched Pat fight bigger dudes, and yeah, coming up in my amateur days, even then I fought girls that were taller than me all the time when I was younger. So it's kind of cool. It's a nice little throwback to like kind of the old days, and yeah, it's going to be something that I have to adjust to, but as far as strength is concerned, the Lord is my strength. So there's nobody that I should fear.
I think that you've seen some of her fights. What's her biggest strengths for you?
Yeah, she really likes her sidekick. She likes that right hook. She knows how to play the game. She's very good at, obviously all her karate experience and things like that have really helped her. Just having a high level of experience in competition, period. She's been doing it her whole life. So she's a traditional, true martial artist. And that's what got me excited. It kind of gives me chills because that's the type of fighter that I want to fight, a true martial artist. And so, yeah, she's a lefty, but, to me, obviously she's really big. Yeah, she's a big girl. But other than that, and she's got a decent, she knows how to, set up her takedown. I don't really see her doing much with it. I just kind of see her, scoring the points, but she knows how to play the game very well. And yeah, she's what am I thinking of? I mean, she's badass, like I'm excited to see what she brings out of me.
You've been champion in the strawweight division. What do you still have to achieve?
Yeah, basically, this is kind of my last like sort of check on my list of things to do, as far as like I want to achieve this goal, right? And I obviously moving up to, I just want to have a fight at 125, and this is it, and then we'll go from there. But like obviously if I could get a 125 belt, that'll be awesome. But I don't want to speak too soon because I just want to make sure that just go day by day. Don't plan too many things. But I do. That was when I first started this career. Was become a champion. Make some money, get a house. Like all these little things. I even wrote down like getting my grandma here, and I've done that. So yeah, so now and the last thing on my list was move up to 125 and potentially, become a double division champion or whatever. I don't know how you would say that, but yeah, there's definitely some lofty goals. So we'll see. Yeah.
How your training camp been so far?
Training has been actually really awesome. It's really different now because I'm at this stage in my career. It's really interesting. Yeah. It really is. I have no idea how to even I just feel super blessed and super grateful to be at this point in my career where I have all this experience, and then I'm coming to the point of I know kind of what to expect, but also these are totally uncharted territories. These are totally new. Like, this is the first time that I'm like, literally everything's like, I don't have to like travel so much. I could just be like at peace. I feel really at peace right now, you know, with everything. Truly content. And I've always tried to like force myself to have that mindset going into it, because I know a fight's a fight, and I can't I can't like force something to happen. Like, I have to do the things, work really hard, you know what I mean? And make sure that I'm, you know, doing whatever it is that I can to get the result that I want, but I had to let go of that result because I have no control over that. It's whether what God wants for me in my life. And so I've come to this point now where I don't have to force myself to think that. You know, there's certain times where it's like, and then I want to go back to my old way of thinking. So, but I'm such in a good like headspace right now that I'm really grateful for all of that. And you know, nothing's perfect, but ultimately, like, yeah, this is awesome to have this gym, and you know, yeah, it's great.
And which performance are you the proudest of?
Yeah. I would say either it's kind of a tie between Joanna 1 or Weili 1. Those are two really great performances, and they're very similar. They have like, it's hard to pick between the two, but I think either one of those.
And Carla is the only one who found the key 2 times against you. Do you have an explanation of this? Maybe tactical or?
Yeah.
Carla is first.
Yeah, it wasn't even like, so the first time she got me on the first time. Like, I was inexperienced and, you know, not. You know, I was just inexperienced. I was dumb and I wasn't prepared. Yeah, I didn't have the experience to deal with that. The second time though, that wasn't really a fight. You know, it wasn't. I don't even really. I think it just was part of God's plan. You know what I mean? Like, and hats off to her. Whatever. You know what I mean? Like, she can have that. Like, I don't mind. And also, it was a blessing too, because I really needed to have this time off and away from the belt and all that stuff. You know, it would have been great but like, that was definitely, yeah, life circumstances and things like that. To me, that wasn't really even a fight.
And thanks, Rose. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome.